Hello people of the internet, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, happy Friday to you all. Hopefully your week is wrapping up nicely, or perhaps you're getting an early start to the weekend. Regardless, hope you're having a good day today. We have a comeback from a group that was part of this year's debutante class. And in fact, it's almost like they're re-debuting in a way. Let me explain. This is PRIMROSE and their first ever comeback titled LAFFY TAFFY. Now there's also an EP by the same name that's dropped today as well, but the reason why I say this could almost be considered like a re-debut in a way is PRIMROSE originally debuted as a duo in like mid-January this year. One of the members, I believe the vocalist out of the two, departed the group for health reasons, and in her place, the company, who I believe is AO Entertainment, let me check very quickly. PRIMROSE members. Yeah, so they're under AO. And in place of Yeum, who was the vocalist that left the group, they brought in 3 new members. So they are now a 4-member girl group. And out of the 3 new members, we are seeing 2 return from disbanded Nugu 4th Gen groups, both of which were very near and dear to my heart. As the group now has added Rainy, formerly of Bugaboo, and Nahyun, formerly of Hot Issue, into their lineup, along with one more, the new maknae, named Hayun, who doesn't really have any information on them, which is very interesting. But yeah, this is kind of a collision of worlds that I didn't think we would get, and I'm extremely happy for them. Like, Hot Issue, I am still so salty over, and Bugaboo in a way just wasn't given the resources to kind of get the boost they needed, and well, 2 of them get another lease of life, so I'm very excited for them. I'm very excited for this release because I have no idea what this is going to sound like. So, man, this is gonna be such a weird time seeing Nahyun pop up on screen again. Because it's been, gosh, how long was Icons? Icons was so long ago now. Nothing but Icons. Oh man, and then Bugaboo had Pop a long time ago as well. Both of them were releases from last year, I think. Oh, I miss those groups. But enough reminiscing on the past. Let's get into it. Here we go. Okay, so it's this beat. Okay. Hi, Nahyun. I missed you. Oh my goodness, it's Paradise Diner. We're back, baby. I like the bounciness of this. Go off, rap line. What does this remind me of? This reminds me of something. If anyone's had Laffy Taffy, they'll kind of understand this analogy, but it does kind of feel stretchy like what a piece of Laffy Taffy is. There's like a certain bite to it, but there's also an elasticity to this song. Oh. Little outro sequence as well. I thought that song was kind of just going to cold cut at the end. Didn't think we were going to get one little extra fill at the end. I feel like not many artists do a dedicated outro anymore, but... Huh! Okay. It's definitely got the bounce. It's definitely got the kind of drawn out bits. It's definitely one of those that's one of those songs where you can kind of visually see what the concept was and like musically understand what the concept was. And I don't know if this is like me reading into it too far, but like that Laffy Taffy title is very appropriate because it does. Laffy Taffy is such a weird piece of candy. It's quite good, but it's like it has a nice stretch to it, but you can kind of like cleanly chew through it if you want to. Like it's, you'll know if you've had it. I can't really describe it, but it's bright. It's really bright, especially compared to their debut. I feel like this is really taken the glucose levels and just skyrocketed it. And maybe it has something to do with the new member lineup, just the vocals they add are a little bit brighter than the original duo setup, which I'm not mad at. Considering like especially with both Nahyun and with Rainy, they came from groups that had pretty bright music. Or at least brighter in terms of like their vocal colors and the parts in their songs that their vocals were used in very much, you know, suited the brighter vocal colors. So a song like this, I can kind of understand where they went with it. And especially if the rap line is kind of like a little bit more lower tone in terms of like the vocal range that they're using. Yeah, offset it with the brighter vocal. It makes sense. Humans love a little bit of contrast. Ooh, excuse me. I'm fresh off of lunch, but it does feel like a song of two halves, which makes sense, you know? Rap verse, singing verse. They're not meant to be treated the same, and they've clearly separated the two, which is very helpful for me, especially as someone who's kind of relearning the group in a way, because this is essentially a fresh group now. New members. This is kind of a way to show off what their vocal capabilities are like in their own little segments, and I think in terms of what they've done with enhancing and like kind of showing off the new members' vocals, I think they've done a good job with it. Like, we'll go back to the beginning here for a second. I mainly want to get to the points where we get the vocal parts coming in. Like, what they've done with that vocal part is they're not impeding on it with the instrumental track. So they're letting the members sing, they're letting the members do the thing, and all the instrumental part is doing is adding a little bit of like a bouncy beat, kind of establish how fast the song is supposed to go. And because of it, kind of hear all the vocals on their own. I think there's a little bit of mixing going on because you can definitely hear a little bit of, I don't know if it's a reverb or if it's an overdub, but you can hear that same vocal track like being added behind it a little bit. But even with that, you can still hear all the voices clearly. And since all, essentially 75% of the lineup here is new, or at least in the Primrose lineup, you can really, like, immediately, this is the first part of the song, and you can hear all their voices. You can understand what they're going to sound like on the song. And I think that's so clever. That's very smart. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. I am mad at the fact that, you know, Bugaboo and Hot Issue had to disband for this to happen, but that's besides the point. That is the world of Nugudom. If you start following a Nugu group and you become attached and like you become a fan of them, oh, it is gonna be a fun journey, and not in a good way. But it's great that Rainy and Nahyun got a second chance. Like, I don't know how Primrose are gonna do. I don't know how this song is gonna do with the general public. But the fact that we get them on a new song again just makes my heart happy. Makes my heart too very happy indeed. But that is it for me today. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today. Let's work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world. Whether it be checking in with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness to maybe brighten up someone else's day today. Know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.